wanted to share something real quick. Recently, I have been putting my mind to, okay, so you know how I have like a lot of clutter in the house that I want to get rid of and, you know, organize, and it feels, and so often I feel discouraged and overwhelmed, and you know, like how am I ever going to get control of it, because there's so much stuff. You know, you work on one section and then it feels like you're never going to get ahead. Well, I have a solution. It sounds like common sense, and you know, like you hear it all the time, but it really is true. Pick a section each day. And I've been actually doing this past week or two. Every single day I pick a section that I'm working on after I get off work. And seeing that, because I saw a video that really really motivated me, inspired me to like think you can do it. You know, because hearing someone else, she was explaining exactly how I feel, and just hearing someone else understand like the struggle, you know, you just realize you're not alone, and that it is a struggle, especially when you're a single mom, especially when you work a full-time job. You know, of course it's going to be hard. So, but you can do it. So it's been helping so much. I just pick a section when I get off work after, you know, dinner or whatever, or before dinner or whatever. I work on it, and it retrains your brain. Once you pick that small section, like I'll just pick like, excuse me, you know, I'm gonna do this tonight, like I'm gonna do all the socks, because we have a ton of socks that aren't matched up. You know, just throw them on the couch, match them up, then put them away. And you just, something that small you can see, and it's like retrains your brain to see organization and that you progress. Because so many times I would just do random things around the house, like, and you can't see the progress, so you feel discouraged, and then you're like, what's the point? But if you pick a small section, even like one drawer, it gives you that, once you get done with that small task, it gives you that satisfaction and confidence and, you know, courage to keep going, and motivation to keep going. So then you go to the next thing and do that, and then you're like, wow, that looks so much better, you know? So then you feel like not frustrated. So I definitely recommend trying that. Don't give up. Whatever you do, you know, don't give in to the thoughts of that you can't do it, or that, you know, it's gonna, all those negative thoughts, just don't listen to them. Tell yourself, yes, I can, and I will, and I'm going to, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you know, make some progress, a little bit of progress each day. So, and I'm happy with that, because I work 9-hour days, Monday through Thursday, and if I can work a 9-hour day at work, still, you know, figure out dinner and still make progress, a little bit of progress with the house for that day, I'm happy with that. So I'm doing that, and I'm just seeing so much better, like my mind and my thoughts and just my perspective is changing. It's just making me feel like, you know, like I can do this. So highly recommend just putting your mind to one small task, do it, and then go to the next one as your time allows. And then she was explaining, once you, like, if she said she gave herself 30 days to just declutter, you know, just don't focus on anything else other than 30 straight days, or you might need 60 days, however long, to just declutter. And I've been going through stuff, like getting rid of stuff. Last weekend we took the whole trunk. This trunk was packed full of stuff that we no longer needed, and I took it to donation, dropped it off, and it felt so good. And it was hard for me, you know, but once you get, because letting go of things, but I'm to the point where I'm just so ready to see, you know, organization. I'm just ready to get rid of it. If we're not using it, give it to someone else that can use it. I mean, you only live once, and, you know, you change, like your interest and your style, and, you know, everything changes. Your body changes, so your clothes are not gonna, you know, you're not gonna want the same clothes anymore. Like, it's okay to just donate it. You know, can make money off of it, but if you're like me and just don't have the time to really mess with it like that, I'm just getting it together and donating it because it's worth it to me for my mind, for my clutter in my mind, you know, my mental health. It's worth it to just get it out of my sight. And then the trick is moving forward is staying out of the stores, because I'm not gonna lie, I do like shopping. So I realized that about myself, and that I need to stay out of the stores. So I don't go into the stores like that anymore. Like before, I would be like, oh, I'm gonna go into like one of my favorites is Burlington Coat Factory. I love that store, and I would just go and look. Yeah, right. I would come out spending $200, you know, and it's stuff that you didn't need. So why give yourself that temptation? You know, if you don't see it, you don't want it, you aren't tempted to get it. So moving forward, I'm just learning, you know, about what I can do to help as far as like decluttering not only our house and our stuff, but my mind. But yeah, I just wanted to give y'all some encouragement. And another thing I wanted to share, Nora, I'm so proud of her, because recently, like, I would just say, if it's a nice day, I'll be like, what a beautiful day, or what a nice day, what a beautiful day. And I'd be like, that the Lord has made, let us rejoice in it and be glad. And so she heard me say it a few times, and then after she heard me say it a few times, now if I say like, what a beautiful day, she'll be like, and reminded me to say the rest, like, that the Lord has made, let us rejoice in it. And I just love that for her, for us. And she said it at school the other day. She came home and said that she said that the teacher was so shocked and impressed that when she said that, because they were outside and the teacher said, what a beautiful day. And she said, you know, she said that the Lord has made, let us rejoice in it. And she said that the teacher just got so tickled over that. And she was telling the other teachers about how she said that, right, Nora? When you said that at school, your teacher, when you said, what a beautiful day that the Lord has made, what did the teacher say? She started talking about it, but yeah, it was so cute. She said they just kept bragging to each other about it. But anyways, your kids do listen to everything that you say, so be careful, you know, what you say around them, because they are like a sponge. They soak it up, and whether you realize it or not, you know, the good and bad. But oh, another thing is my Wegovy journey. Okay, so you know how I took the 1.7 after not having it in my system for like 6 weeks. Nora, can you turn it down a little bit? Thank you. I took it and it made me sick, so sick. I threw up for 12 hours. It was miserable, and I was still nauseous the next day, actually for like 2 days. But anyways, so I waited two weeks, and then what I decided to do, because I have 3 pens left that are 1.7, right? So I'm not going to waste them. But I Googled it, and a couple other people were saying that they did the injection, they just took it out halfway through. So it's not going to be completely accurate. You know, you can't really tell how much you're going to inject or how much is going to come out, because, you know, whatever, like the filler or whatever in it. But I did it and it worked. I will say I was a little nauseous the next day. Actually, pretty nauseous the next day, but I was able to get through without throwing up. So that was good. And then by like dinner, I noticed the nausea started going away. And when I do my injection, I do it at night. And I'm going to start making sure that I only do it on the weekend, because trying to work when you're nauseous is hard. And it doesn't hit me. When I do my injection at night, it doesn't hit me until that morning. So I guess it takes like 6 or 8 hours to kind of kick in. And then I wake up and I'm nauseous the whole day. So Anyways, it was much better though, so my body is getting used to it being back in its system. And I've noticed that a couple pounds are starting to come off, so happy with that. And I think I'm just gonna do it every 2 weeks, and probably next time I'll just do the injection and take it out like half to 3/4 of the way. That way I won't get the whole complete full dose. But anyways, yeah, so it's going well.